dare I say Beyonce feels like she has to make country music to compete? Is that what's going on?
All I gotta say is Taylor Swift is your go now.
It's not really funny that somebody is going through dementia, but with somebody has a past like Wendy Williams, I could see people not really giving a damn. A Fox News anchor said that this move of him dropping these shoes is gonna be what's gonna galvanize the black vote for Donald Trump.
Which you are echoing.
I think there's some truth to it. I don't agree with the man. I'm gonna be real with you.
Eminem has been pretty sensitive for the last couple of years now. Like
his whole career.
Yo.
We are the Levi's Wise Guys.
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
Yo. We are the Levi's Wise Guys. Your boy Uchay. I'm my boy
QDZ for Sheezy from RGMEZ.
We are the Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast. This is episode 160.
160.
If you're new here, stay a while. And if you've been here before, just, stay a little longer, pull a lawn chair up. Man, we back with another one, man. Shout out to Adam Dash for pulling up on our podcast for our last episode. If you're new here and you want to check out a really, really dope collab we did, man, after this episode, y'all make sure to just check out the last one. We had a really, really fire conversation about Kanye's new album. For sure. With Ty Dolla $ign. Also, the top 5 Kanye albums of all time.
There was a comment that I saw where somebody was like, Yeezus was on there in their top 5.
Yeah, shout out to
I forgot what number
it was
one.
DJ Nobi. He had Yeezus. He had all of Kanye's experimental albums, as far as I'm concerned. Like the ones where, in my opinion, he went a little left. Yeah, he had them in the top 5. It was just kind of wild to me.
Wow.
That shows you. I mean, is this list, is it valid though? Do you agree with that?
Oh, of course not. But I mean, it's personal favorite.
There you
and
go.
I think,
there you go.
Kanye has some. Remember how I said on that episode, like Kanye has some albums that connected with people.
Yes.
And Yeezus connected with a lot of people. Graduation connected with a lot of people, et cetera, et cetera. So.
I wholeheartedly agree, man. Listen, if you guys are out there and you want to check out our episode and those and the topics from that, y'all make sure to do that after this. Let's get into some of the announcements, man. Q, what you got?
Check out ratingsgamemusic.com, aka RGM in other countries. Best music review site on the globe. On the globe. They confirmed it. They went into space, recently, and they landed on the moon. And from the moon, they looked down and said, yo, that website that one person's on is the greatest website in the world. And it was Ratings Game Music that person was looking at. Recently, we did album reviews for Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi dropped Insano Nitro Mega album. I would call it like a Kid Cudi's Lost Tapes album. So it's definitely cool. Check it out. But we also had singles by Lil Mabu, your boy Lil Mabu.
It's Mabu, bruh.
Oh, Mabu?
Yes, it's Mabu.
I don't know what they're called. Lil Mabu and NLE Choppa.
Shot
Flow 7.
Really?
Yeah, Shot to Flow 7 remix. And then, there's a really good song by Russ that dropped. I thought it's fantastic. I gave it 5 stars, actually. And Saweetie. She's in the news for dropping a song called Been Delicious, Hitalicious or something like that. Richitis or something. But anyway.
Is it good?
She's spitting.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Is it good?
Check out ratingsgamemusic.com. Oh, it was French Montana Mac and Cheese 5.
Yes, there we go. He did drop. You're right.
Check out ratingsgamemusic.com. Best music review site on the world.
Y'all make sure to head over there and do that right now. ASAP. Pronto. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
On to some of the other things. Y'all make sure, as always, y'all tap into Zero Skips, the mother effing playlist, man. It is going up. Shout out to all the artists who've made the playlist. Shout out to all the artists who are also trying to get on the playlist. We feature a lot of music from rising talent, people you've probably never heard of, but you should know of, that are making great music. So y'all make sure to stream that playlist right now, exclusively on Spotify.
Ooh. In
the description right now. And actually, speaking of the playlist, there's a couple songs we actually added recently that were fire. Like, I think, and they deserve a mention,
A stamp? A stamp of approval?
A bit of a stamp of approval. First and foremost, we got an artist by the name of Kume. He dropped a song called "Good Times." We heard it again right before the podcast just dropped. Dope Afro beats, pop.
Good time, good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
I really like the hook on that joint. Remember that song back in the day? On Monday, I lose my. Remember that song? Monday, Tuesday.
Took her for a drink on
Who's
Tuesday?
saying that joint? Who's it?
Craig David?
Craig David. There we go.
Took her for a drink
On Tuesday, on
We're
Wednesday.
making love
That
on Wednesday.
it's funny. He kind of took Craig David's concept with the hook on that song,
Nice.
which was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a very infectious song. That's probably the best way I would describe it. That's the best way I describe it.
Absolutely. So if y'all want to check out that song, it's on Zero Skips right now, but y'all make sure to tap in. Follow him on the socials as well. We got another joint by a brother named Kyrie Croons. Kyrie
With the handles? Kyrie
with the
What?
Side note, and we're gonna get right back to this.
Yes.
I saw Allen Iverson do an interview recently.
You already know.
He said
I know.
Kyrie Irving got the best handles of all
Of course
time.
he does.
Is he capping?
Of course he does.
All right,
What are you talking
I wonder.
about? Are you kidding? It's not even close.
Brother, I'm just testing whether
It's
or not.
not close.
Now I'm back to Kyrie, the other Kyrie. I hope we're pronouncing your name right, brother.
Yes.
Anyway, he dropped a song called Rent/Money. I thought this joint was really, really fire because, the first half of the song was more like rapidy rap. He was spitting real introspective. I just think he did a really good job. Like he handled the assignment very well. He did what he was supposed to do, and then it transitioned to a slower vibe on the money part. Yo, I mean, what you think, man? I know you heard it.
There's certain songs where it's like if you like hip hop, you'll enjoy this song.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe this. If you are just a hip hop head, you're going to appreciate this.
You gotta love hip hop to like this one. Though.
Exactly.
I feel like
You
this
gotta
ain't just some.
And people who love hip hop appreciate the purity, and will know when they hear a pure hip hop song.
Facts.
That's probably how I'll describe that.
Facts. Y'all make sure to check out Rent/Money right now on the playlist as well. Shout out to that brother. Hope we pronounce your name right, man. Again. And then the last song I want to highlight is a guy by the name of Apollo Gross. I apologize. He dropped a new EP called Life After Her. I thought it was a very, very experimental album.
I like that title.
And truthfully, I wanted to talk to you about this a bit because it's like, how many of us have been in relationships where we've had to pick up the pieces after you broke up with your ex?
You mean pick up the bills?
That too. That's part of the pieces.
Well, man, she ain't paid the phone bill, man. Like, you ain't pay her half, man. Like, I'm trying to get a new phone, man. Like, what are you talking about?
No, but seriously though, but again, us guys, guys can't complain, man. You know how it is. Nobody care about man's feelings.
Just shut up and do it.
Shut up and
move.
Shut up and get back right. Well, anyway, Apollo Gross is touching on concepts like that, right? Like life after her. You go through changes. There's a song on there called Changes. I played that for you right before the pod dropped as well. But hey, man, there's a bunch of songs on here that you guys I think will really rock with, especially if you like experimental R&B. Really dope vibes on there, man. Again, we got a song called Changes from his EP on the Zero Skips playlist, streaming right now exclusively on Spotify.
Check them all out.
Q, on this episode, we're going to be talking about Eminem and Benzino.
Woo!
I'm chuckling a bit because Benzino and Eminem have been going after it for 22 years, apparently.
Yes.
For those of you who's counting.
I'm old enough to remember when the beef started.
He recently did a Drink Champs interview where he broke down. He had a meltdown. Like, this is the definition of a meltdown. I ain't talking about the Travis Scott and Drake song. That wasn't much of a meltdown on that song. But this Benzino interview was a flat-out meltdown. We're going to talk about, should you feel bad for him? Did he deserve?
But he was smoking on that Zaza or something.
He was smoking on that loud pack?
On that Zaza Petroleum.
On that loud pack?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he was. But no, is Eminem bullying him?
Ooh.
What like, has Eminem
Ouch.
ever had a real beef?
Ouch.
We're going to get to that topic in a bit, guys. Also, Donald Trump, the Trumpster.
The Trumpster.
Donald Trump dropped the Air MAGA 5s, man. The January 6s. If you guys are living under a rock, for those of you, I should say, the man dropped some new shoes. What this is unprecedented territory. I don't think we've ever seen a candidate of any sort in politics dropped some shoes as an incentive to get some votes.
And they ain't $20. Let me just put it that way.
Brother, they are
Newsflash, they ain't 20.
Bro, they cost a little penny. We're going to talk about what that means for maybe even the hip-hop industry, black people. Was it a good move? Hey, listen, we're going to get to that in a few. Wendy Williams.
Ooh, that's a rough one.
Wendy Williams is going through it, man. Listen, I hate to really go in. I mean, anybody that's going through mental issues, dementia, any sort of debilitating age type of a condition, it sucks. But there's a lot of people who ain't got no sympathy for Wendy Williams, mostly because she's been going after people her whole career. Is that right? Is it wrong? We're going to get to that as well. But first, we're going to talk about Beyonce and the fact that she's dropping country music.
Oh, my God. This is just a hard-hitting,
swinging
for the fences episode. Let me lay back a little bit.
Nah, man. I'm going to need you to lean forward, man.
Lean back.
Lean forward, bro.
Lean back.
This is gonna be a doozy. But no, in reality, again, Beyonce dropped 2 songs, right? Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
And then
which I love.
16.
You don't like.
Not a fan of it.
I love it.
Not a fan.
I
Thanks for
love it.
telling them. And she dropped the other one, 16 Carats, which I love and you don't. You called it boring.
It's a good song.
You called it
It's
boring.
a good song, but it's boring.
Go ahead and keep.
It's a
See?
good song.
Hey, Beehive,
It's a good
get
song,
him. Get
but
him.
it's boring.
That guy. She debuted the songs on Super Bowl,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Super Bowl ad. And all you heard right after that was the fact that she was denied to be on one of the country radio stations because one of the program directors said, this is not a country song. Beyonce is not country. We've been through this before with Lil Nas X and so on and so forth. First, I got 2 questions for you. Number one, and you can answer however you like. What do you think about the fact that she's dropping country music, number one? And then 2, is it country music and should people in country accept it? What you got?
Got to go back and just kind of find the reason why she's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So from a very unverified source that told me that it's a part of her plan, her retirement plan. So she's planning on retiring, and her goal with these last couple of albums she's going to do was to tackle every genre that was created by black people. That's what I heard from a very
I've heard that as well.
source,
I've heard
right?
that as well.
So
It's speculation.
It's speculatory,
but it makes sense.
It's speculatory speculation.
It's
if,
a good conspiracy
If
theory.
if this is true, she might tackle rock next. So she's touching all the genres. I don't know if it's something where she's trying to cash in on country. I don't think that's the case. I think, honestly, when it comes down to, I think she's trying to show her versatility. She's trying to prove that she is one of the greatest artists ever, period, by doing, because think about it. Beyonce has dabbled in R&B. She's dabbled in hip-hop. She's dabbled in pop, obviously.
Right.
She's dabbled in EDM music, or whatever you want to call Renaissance.
Dance.
With dance music,
yeah.
you know, and
House,
I would say
EDM
successful.
vibes, yeah.
So now it's country. And mind you guys, like, she had a country song on Lemonade.
She did.
She had a country song on Lemonade, you know. So it's not super duper foreign territory, but you know, at the end of the day, Beyonce is such a big artist that people are not gonna like what she does in general. People are not gonna. She could do freaking drill music tomorrow, and people are gonna complain just because it's Beyonce. But this whole idea that she didn't sound like a country artist on that song, like, let's use our ears. Stop using our eyes when we were evaluating music. Use our ears. What did you hear on Texas Hold'em? I heard country folk. I heard grab your partner and dance on the rodeo or whatever the hell. That's what that music was. Whether or not it was authentic or not, that's what it was. It was country folk, Dixie Doo-Dah or whatever the hell,
Right.
music.
Right.
You know, so
Dixie Doo-Dah.
the problem is they're looking at Beyonce. You know, she doesn't look like a country artist. What does a country artist look like?
Right.
You know, maybe she wasn't wearing a hat. You know, maybe she just, her swank. Like, at the end of the day, stop using your eyes. Folks, what did you hear? I heard country music.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So
Look,
there's no way you can be blocking her.
at the end of the day, yeah. If that conspiracy theory is right, where she's tackling those 3 genres with a renaissance, I love it. I think it's a great concept. We need more concepts in music. Like I like when artists bring concept albums and just concept themes to music, man, bro. Like The Weeknd does it all the time. Look, every time he come out with a new album, he's a new person, damn near.
He's always looking beat up, like on the front cover.
Yeah, he looked like he got his
And
ass
he's wearing
whooped.
that same dusty red jacket.
But it's cool, right? And I like the character Beyonce's putting into the music, where you see her wearing the cowboy hats, right? She's obviously making a country album. Well, not obviously. It seems as if that's what the direction she's going. I like it. With that being said, like I told you before, like you joked earlier, I didn't love the song, Texas Hold'em. But me not liking the song has nothing to do with whether or not it's a freaking country song. It is undoubtedly a country record. Now the question that at least the thing that I'm focusing more so on is that what we want from Beyonce? Like, when she drops this album that's country, how is it going to resonate? Because let's be honest, a lot of people who are probably her target audience, like black people who really champion her. Obviously, she has a ton of fans, but like, how many of us really listen to country? She's really forcing people's hands and is going to try to influence you to listen to country music. I look at EDM and house music a bit differently because, bro, when we all go to the club,
It's generic. Everybody's
heard that type
rhymes.
of music. It's
Everybody
very easy
listens
for that to make sense.
Yeah.
Country music is going to be much different. I'm going to be paying attention for that. I do want to touch on the racial aspect too, though, because how many artists have we seen on the white artists transition and make other genres of music and nobody bats an eye? But as soon as Beyonce or black people try to make other types of music, there's a lot of resistance. It seems, right? Don't you feel that way?
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah.
And so
It's a big deal. It's like
it always makes news.
Why is it such a big deal that Beyonce decided to do country? Why is it such a big deal?
I think it's weird.
At the end of the day,
weird.
she makes music, and if she decides, I guess there's an unwritten rule where you have to like talk to a committee, get approval before you switch genres. Is that an unwritten rule that we don't know about?
Right,
but
hey,
like,
so.
I mean, I think the reason people have such an issue with it is because country seems to be very personal to people. The music, think about it. Like, usually when I hear a country song, it seems very personal. It seems people have an emotional connection to it. And so maybe your true, quote unquote, true country fan is looking at it and saying, Beyonce, this is a money grab, like I was mentioning. Maybe they're saying, like, Beyonce, you don't really love the genre. You're just playing around with it.
Look at that.
This is commercial.
Look at that.
You know, so, I don't know. I'm not in the country.
Are people
community.
right
I
to
don't
question
talk to
Are
country
people
people.
right to question the authenticity of someone switching genres? Because we do it every day. Think about it.
Yeah. I mean,
We do it every day.
I do think they are right to question it, especially if you are a true country fan and want to see the genre done right.
There you go.
You can question it, but I think at the end of the day, you don't want to dissuade somebody like Beyonce from tackling your genre. But then again, like if Taylor Swift tackled hip hop, I mean, would you? Because this is what it's all about, guys. It's Taylor Swift versus Beyonce. Beyonce, ironically, came out with a country song when Taylor Swift and Kelsey won the Super Bowl.
Look at that.
And all this was happening. Beyonce said, I got a country song.
Hey, bro.
This
I
is
think-
the biggest rival since freaking Jordan versus Bird.
All this talk over the last year, Beyonce versus Taylor Swift.
That's what's happening.
And yet Beyonce feels the need. Dare I say Beyonce feels like she has
Beyonce.
to make country music to compete?
Bro, listen.
Is that what's going on?
Listen. All I gotta say is Taylor Swift is your go now. She got
me hip-hop?
Taylor Swift
She got me
got
hip-hop?
call 41 and Kyle Rich make a drill banger. I want to see Taylor Swift do drill music. Let's do it. Or Jersey club music. Taylor Swift on Jersey club music might be tight though.
I will pay not to
Really?
see that.
Jersey,
I'll pay not to see that.
Taylor Swift
Real talk.
on Jersey club music might be tight.
Yo, let's move on, man.
Next topic, Wendy Williams. So a lot of, Wendy Williams has been away from TV for quite some time now. And I always felt like there was some type of mystery behind why she was away from TV. It was never clear. It was never, made public what she was going through. So recently there was a documentary. I think it said "Where is Wendy Williams" is what the documentary is called. And in the documentary, you kind of see what she's going through behind scenes. And some things leaked out. Maybe you guys already knew this, but like she's under conservatorship. That's the same thing that
Britney Spears
is under, where she's kind of being muzzled. Wendy Williams, and I saw a snippet of the documentary where she was talking to Black China.
I saw that.
And like her mind was just not there. And it was announced that she had dementia. And she's kind of suffering from the same thing Bruce Willis is suffering from.
Yep.
So the reception that I've been hearing to this news from people is a lot of people are saying, dang, like this is karma for what she's been doing to the celebrities all these years. And then some people are like, no, there's the human aspect here where we should feel sympathy for somebody who's going through something like that. I am honestly stunned at the pretty much mixed reactions to what's going on here. Are you stunned too? Like, is this something that you're surprised by?
Look,
because usually stuff like this should not receive a mixed reaction.
Wendy Williams is, to me, she is a product of, dare I say, her own karma, unfortunately. But I don't want to personalize it to her because, let's be real. Let's take a step up. Take a step back, I should say. People receive other folks based on how they're treated, right? So if you treat people well, generally speaking, people will feel bad for you. They'll have empathy for you, right? They'll look out for you, right? They'll help you when you're in need, right? But if you're somebody who is an asshole, a jerk, you don't care about the next person, or you're quick to clown somebody, people are not really going to have sympathy for you, bro. It's human nature. And so from that standpoint, now let's go back to Wendy Williams. Her whole, I guess, presentation from when she was a radio host to the Wendy Williams show to all the things that she's ever done has been a agitator, a provocateur, a shock-jock damn near. Shock-jock. And so I don't see anything wrong with people not feeling bad. It sucks to say. But if you're somebody who believes in all the stuff I just said before, like treat people how you want to be treated or have empathy, you're not really going to feel empathy at all. Me personally, she never did anything to me. And so therefore, I'm looking at it like, yo, it sucks that she has to go through dementia, something that a lot of old people have to experience. People are joking and laughing about the fact that Joe Biden might have dementia. I think it's funny, even though it's never been confirmed. You know how they always saying this guy's forgetting things and yada yada. It's not really funny that somebody is going through dementia, but with somebody has a past like Wendy Williams, I could see people not really giving a damn. It makes sense to me. I don't like it, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
makes perfect sense to me.
I get it. For me, I'm one of those softies that, like, I always opt for the human side. So if somebody's going through something and they were just the worst person in the world, I opt for the human side. I don't want you to suffer. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody deserves to, like, suffer like that unless you commit it. Like, Wendy Williams didn't murder anybody. You know what I mean? Now, maybe some of the things she said has led to people maybe wanting to hurt themselves or what. I don't know. But she hasn't directly murdered anybody as far as I know. She just talked.
Yeah.
She just was a shock-jock person, like you mentioned. So, I mean, does that if you're wishing that on somebody or you're laughing at that, it's kind of like, I don't think it fits the crime, personally. Because this is somebody who suffered, right? So that's just me. I'm a softie.
Listen.
I'm a softie.
Look.
So
me personally,
that's just me.
I'm empathetic to as well. Me personally, I'm empathetic. I feel bad for her. Me.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Wendy Williams. I don't think anybody should actually have to go through that. And if they do, let's be real, it affects not only them but the people around them.
But this is,
you know what I'm saying? So it sucks. But again, the conversation is more about
for sure.
are people justified
That's what I'm saying.
for
That's why I'm
feeling,
not-
for not having
and
sympathy
for
for
sure.
it?
And I just want to bring that point up. That's just me. I'm a softie here. So
Right.
I'm not gonna go hard at Wendy Williams. I don't really have that strong of opinion about what she did. But what I will say is Wendy Williams' legacy is what's needs to be talked about here. In her legacy,
Legend.
she's a legendary
Legend.
shock-jock figure, and her show was doing extremely successful. And she entertained, whether you like it or not, she entertained a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things that I'm hearing people talk about is the fact that, damn, like, we denounced Wendy Williams and we this, but like, that's kind of how we get entertained here in America. Like TMZ, all Entertainment Tonight, all of these things. She went up a notch and she was spreading rumors, but like, I just think she was doing the work of what we as Americans tend to gravitate to. So it's,
Come on, stop it. You know she was going overboard.
she was going overboard.
Yeah, stop it. But I understand what you're saying. She set the
I'm
model.
saying- but America, we as Americans, we go overboard with how we view celebrities. We go overboard with rumors. The all that stuff that comes with following a celebrity. We all go overboard. So it's like,
Not Wendy Williams overboard. Bro, listen, again, put the condition aside.
I didn't watch Wendy
Put the
Williams.
condition aside.
Yes.
She was heartless about a lot of her commentary. And again, that doesn't justify the condition she's in now. I'm just saying, what you talking about? No, she was like extra. I get what you're saying, but she was extra.
A lot of people,
that's a fact.
A lot of people will be surprised at how much other people in this world are extra too.
And guess what?
A lot of people are extra. But I'm not condoning. Don't get me wrong.
I know,
I'm not condoning.
But unfortunately, here's the part that's just real.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're extra, and that's a part of your personality and your brand, and it becomes like who people know you for. When something happens to you, nobody's gonna care. They're not really gonna feel sorry.
But I don't think she's ever asked for y'all to care.
All
Did
right.
she ever asked for that?
Hey, probably not.
Maybe she thinks that's what comes with the territory. Like,
I'd be very curious to know if Wendy
curious.
Williams. I mean, I know she's not really in her right mind,
Yeah,
at
I
least
mean-
consistently. But like, I'd be very curious to know if we asked Wendy Williams, "Hey, you know, people are like they're not really caring that you are in this
What you're going
condition.
through.
What do you think?"
she's gonna say, "I understand." Probably.
I would be very curious
I'm
to
pretty
know
sure
like
she'll probably
what
say,
she thinks.
She'll probably say, "I understand."
Let's move on to the next topic. Donald Trump drops some new shoes,
Yes, new shoes,
bro.
Air Magas.
Hey, yo, listen. Recently, once again, guys, among the mountain of things that Donald Trump has been involved in over the last couple of years, whether it's being indicted, whether it's having to pay for trials and lawsuits and all these things that the man is going through, somehow, some way, he is still
fighting
leading.
a Rico.
He's fighting a Rico.
Yep.
Somehow, some way, the man is still the leading candidate in the Republican race.
And right now, probably favored to win president right now in polls.
There you go.
A lot of polls, he's favored to win.
Exactly. And so with all that being said, somehow he found time to drop some new shoes. Very ridiculous and unprecedented move, I feel. He dropped some new shoes. They're real golden, and I think they're $600.
Yes.
I was reading online, actually, on Twitter, because, that's where all the facts are, allegedly. They're going and they're reselling for like $2,000 to $3,000. Some of them with his signature on it. And here's the other thing: a Fox News anchor recently was getting a lot of heat because he said
this is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics.
that this move of him dropping these shoes is going to be what's going to galvanize the black vote for Donald Trump. And a lot of people were like, they were mad. They were like, man, what you mean? You think black people that simple? You could just drop some shoes and we going to care? I didn't say it. He said it.
what you are echoing.
I think there's some truth to it. I don't agree with the man. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't agree, but I think there's some truth to it. Let's be real. Donald Trump, he might be a marketing genius. He might be a marketing genius. I'm just being honest with you guys. I mean, can we just tell the truth? Can we tell the truth on this episode?
Look. I'm just gonna say this real quick.
Go ahead, man.
When I saw that he dropped the shoe, I was like, this guy's a genius. Even if it doesn't sell, which of course it's gonna sell. Even if you don't like what it looks like or you don't like him,
bro,
it's news. It's
marketing
news.
Genius.
It's crazy. I was like, that's genius. And this came a day after, or 2 days after, they announced he has to pay $354 million.
Bro. in 1 month.
In his case.
In 1 month. Did you hear the prosecutor, the judge? Mm-hmm. Did you hear her, how they got a soundbite from her, and then she was like, listen, he's going to have to pay. She sounded like Janet Jackson for some reason. Mm-hmm. Real soft voice. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump, he's going to have to pay the money or else we're going to come for his asset. Like, It was crazy.
I didn't hear that. Yeah,
the man owes mad money, and guess what?
I've literally never seen that.
I've
never seen a case end, and they said somebody has to pay $354 million.
Hey, bro, this is a money play for Trump. And guess what? His supporters are diehard enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to sell.
I don't think
he's going to get back $354 million, but it's going to sell.
He might get a quarter. He might get a quarter of that.
It's going to sell.
Sales.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, I hate to go super deep, right? We having fun, we joking and all this other shit.
For sure.
But like, let's have some real talk. Outside of him just dropping shoes, right? We get it. Mm-hmm. He dropped some shoes. They're $600. Okay, some people are going to buy it.
Yes.
What do you think about what it means? What's the meaning of him dropping the shoes from your perspective?
What it tells me is he has his ears to the streets. He knows how to remain relevant in various different ways. And it's not always the obvious way. Mm-hmm. It's not him dabbing or whatever. What's the thing that was Migos make?
Dab.
The dab? Yeah. It's not him dabbing when everybody else is dabbing. It's not him, doing all the other gimmicky stuff when everybody else is doing it. He just comes out of nowhere with certain things. And I think this shoe was something that it was just like left field. Mm-hmm. And think about the people who have popular signature shoes. Michael Jordan.
They're only athletes,
right?
dog.
They're athletes, right? Michael Jordan, Kanye, right? Those are really the two.
Yeah.
And I think Donald Trump and his team saw a market there.
There you go.
Where he's like, yo, I can be this type of person.
Yo, look.
It's absolutely genius. It's brainwashing.
Bro.
And
100%.
Everything that, comes with the whole definition of just relevancy. Mm-hmm. And he just finds ways to always be relevant, which is it's whether you like the man or not, whether you're going to vote for him or not, you got to be like, yo, I applaud. Like, that's you brave.
Nah, you got to give it up
for being that. Like, just finding just ways to be relevant.
That's fact.
I'm not going to buy the shoe.
I'm not buying it. It's not getting my money.
Absolutely not.
He's not getting my bread.
Going to buy.
You know what's funny is a lot of people, like, here's what I want to say. A lot of people forget that before Trump was president, he was a celebrity. Mm-hmm.
And
for decades.
He had hotels.
For decades. He was a businessman, entrepreneur, celebrity. How many rappers was talking about Trump in a favorable manner? How many people were saluting Trump before he became president? So what I'm trying to say is, like, let's put the presidency and all the trouble he's in aside. Mm-hmm. We know good and damn well Trump ain't wearing them goddamn shoes. However, fashion or liquor, if you see how everybody gets popping, Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, he gets on and he got a liquor brand. Mm-hmm. This is on par with just celebrity.
This is on par with relevancy. No, I think it's on par with power, relevancy. Like, Trump had wine. Like, I remember going to Atlantic City and seeing, I was like, yo, what, Trump got wine too? He's almost like Shaq. Shaq got everything, right? But, I mean, I think
you become a brand, right? You are a brand in the extension of everything.
Trump understands he has a base. Mm. When you know you have a base and your base is pretty big, like,
tap in.
You got to tap into the base. And so he knows his base. I'm not a part of his base. Let me just
bro.
put it that way. But like, you know, I understand the play where he has a base. And all these people that are surprised that he does things that's successful and stuff like that, and people are voting for him, just understand he has a base. And these are the type of things that you do to galvanize your base. So
I will not be buying the January 6s or the MAGA 300s.
the air insurrection.
The air insurrections. And you're right, though. Everybody has a base. Listen, our base is the wise gang.
Yeah.
That means that when we drop some shoes, hey, y'all know what y'all got to do, man.
Next topic. Eminem versus Benzino. Oh, my God. When I found out Benzino dropped a diss record towards Eminem.
Two of them.
Which a lot of people don't know where
Two
that
of them,
diss record
actually.
spun. So the diss record. Do you want me to go back into history? Eminem and Benzino's beef started when Benzino, who at the time was the owner of The Source, said that, you know, The Eminem show didn't deserve 5 mics or 4 mics or whatever. 5 mics, right? Eminem didn't like that, and then Eminem started to slander him. You know, obviously there's some racial issues there. Benzino probably thought Eminem didn't deserve it. He's a white guy. I think he admitted that. And then Eminem
Actually, he was just hating, too.
and
Because they
he
had beef
just-
prior, and he was flexing his power.
Yeah. So, you know, all of that happened.
Yeah.
And then diss records are thrown at each other. And, you know, their beef's just kind of been in the background. Recently, what a lot of people don't know is Eminem had a song on Lyrical Lemonade's album where he just spent like 2 minutes straight talking about Benzino, just randomly. And one of the things Eminem brought up, which I was like, ooh, he's talking about Coi Leray and how, you know, Coi Leray, you know, damn, I guess that Coi Leray feature is not going to work anymore. Benzino must have heard that, and he dropped the 2 diss records that you mentioned. And then after that, Benzino went on Drink Champs with Nori and was talking about M. And he looks like he started the interview sticking his chest out, and then eventually he just broke down and said he wants to be Eminem's friend, and this is that. My first thought when this beef got reignited was that this again? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this has been 20-something years.
Yeah.
Like, this is being reignited again?
Right.
But then me being much, much older now, I'm in my 30s.
Right.
You know, beef culture in hip-hop is no longer there. I started to look deeply into it, and I said, yo, like, Eminem is kind of bullying this guy, like you mentioned. Outside of this podcast, at this certain point, like, you gotta leave this guy alone. Like, it's been 20 years, so I don't want to take up all the time. What do you think about what's transpired in this reignited beef between Benzino and Eminem?
Well, look, first of all, that was a good overview. I like
Very
it.
brief.
I
'cause
like
there's
that.
a whole bunch of
No,
stuff
you
in
skimmed
between.
20 years, but it's
Like,
important you did
Benzino
that.
talked about, I would bring up the tapes about
there was-
Eminem's Black
there's
Girls Don't
violence
Work.
that
all that
ensued.
stuff.
I've said this for quite some time now. Listen, we say what you want about Eminem as a rapper. We know he's goated. It's undeniable. I don't care what Dr. Umar says. I don't care what Benzino says. Eminem is a goated rapper, period.
Yes.
With that being said, the one thing that I've always had an issue with when it came to Eminem was the fact that he never picked enemies that were on his level. He always attacked the easy target to me, whether it's Mariah Carey, whether it's Nick Cannon, whether it's Benzino, whether it's, I mean, the list goes on of all the.
Cannabis was kind of a tough
He's
one.
the one. He might be the
Cannabis
one.
was-
He might be the one. And it's so crazy because this is coming from a battle rap dude. He was once in the battle rap Olympics. He understands what it means to battle back and forth lyrically. And so Britney Spears, I forgot to mention her, right? There's a bunch of just random people Eminem has had these issues with that he's chosen to just blast on the microphone. I think it's bullying. But, you know, nobody wants to hold Eminem accountable. We like to act like what he's doing isn't bullying. It is. I'm going to call it for what it is. It's bullying. Now, with that being said, I don't know what happened between him and Benzino. It's very murky, actually. I'm not sure if it's serious. It sounds like it's not. He keeps talking about he has no neck. Like,
He said that?
he's always talking about, like, Benzino has no neck. He's like, hey, man, there's something about it.
You said that. He didn't say that. I've never
Swear,
heard
go
Eminem-
listen to the
I've
Lyrical
never
Lemonade
heard
song.
Eminem say
Go
that.
listen to Lyrical.
Oh,
He
okay.
said something about giraffe neck, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
always clowning the fact that Benzino has no neck.
Okay.
Like, and so with that being said, it's just at this point it's just childish. This is childish.
Yeah.
This is a childish back
They're
and forth
both
between
50.
two grown ass individuals who have grown kids. I think Benzino he is well within his right to stand his ground, bro. Like, I think he has been bullied. That's why we seeing him cry on Drink Champs. He don't really seem to understand why.
No, I mean, I think
where this energy is coming from.
It's enough. Like, I think he's crying because it's like enough. Y'all don't see, okay, Eminem. I think him versus Eminem, if this was a fair fight.
You mean like man to man, like fist fight?
No, not fist fight, but like
okay,
just a
right.
fair fight in terms. Eminem's fan base is one of the most loyal, one of the most,
Speaking
die
of bases,
hard.
speaking of bases,
right? Speaking
right?
of bases, to where Eminem's fan base versus Benzino's fan base. Does Benzino even have a fan base? I'm not even trying to be mean or like trying to.
That's a legit question.
Does Benzino have a fan base?
I think if
if
Benzino has a fan base, they're all 55 years old.
You know what I mean? It's
older.
And it's no knock on Benzino at all. I don't think Benzino was never a mainstream rapper. Eminem was a mainstream rapper who has a fan base.
True.
But I think at a certain point we got to call musicians and certain rappers sensitive. Eminem has been pretty sensitive for the last couple of years now. Like
His whole career, I would say.
but especially the last couple of years.
Okay.
Remember when he dropped after relapse and after recovery, and a lot of people said Kamikaze, right?
Yep.
Kamikaze 2. If you listen to that album, throughout it, he talks about how critics didn't like this. Critics said I couldn't rap. And this also, the beef with Benzino stemmed from,
Him being a critic.
him being critical of your music. He gave you 4 mics instead of 5. Like his beef with MGK was super critical, and you talk about your daughter. I get it. I understand you being sensitive there, but we gotta call it how it is. Like a lot of rappers, like Eminem, are sensitive. And this is a situation where sensitivity has kept this thing going for 22, 23 years. I think Eminem's a legend too. Eminem is a great rapper, but it's not a great look to me with that just being sensitive, like this sensitivity. Now, trust me, this is bigger. This is bigger than probably we both know. But like, I just hate the idea that a lot of rappers these days, you can't be critical. Benzino on that Drink Champs was talking about, I was being critical with some of the decisions Eminem has made. The tape that Eminem made about black girls. Like,
Which is
being
insane.
critical.
Which is crazy. Have you heard it?
I heard it. Yeah, I heard it.
It's bad.
And it's like, at the end of the day, like, we can't just side with the person that's cool. Understand what's going on here. And I think what's going on here is we are not being allowed to be critical because, a certain person has a certain fan base or a certain person, is cool.
Hey, look, man. Eminem's base will disagree with us. They'll hold him. They will not hold him accountable for anything that he does. And I think a lot of times that's the gift and the curse of having a base.
Yeah.
Having a fan base that's that strong.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm going to talk about an artist in this next segment that has a fan base that's super. Matter of fact, let's just get to it. Next topic and last topic, actually. It's been a very expedited show. I like it. Are relationships bad for your image? I know you've wanted to talk about this for quite some time, and I mean, listen, we got all types of stuff we've been talking about on these podcasts, so we haven't gotten to it until today. I think back in the day, if we look historically within Hollywood, within rap music or just music, the music industry as a whole, historically, I'll speak about on the man's side and then I'll go to the woman's side. As a man, it was frowned upon to be in a relationship. It was legit.
I remember those days.
Frowned upon.
It was like, are you dating anybody?
They had,
we cool.
Bro, they had to deny. Bro, they could have just gotten married. Paparazzi had the TMZ snuck into the wedding, caught a picture of them getting married, and then they got interviewed a week later. Hey, how was the marriage? How was the wedding? They would be like, nah, I ain't getting married. What are you talking about? I'm single.
I remember those days.
They had to literally take it to the grave, right?
Real
And
talk,
so on the women's standpoint as well, the women had to act like they weren't in a relationship either, because back in the day, there was this weird concept, and I guess I understood it from a marketing standpoint, where men had to act desirable, and so did the women. And being in a relationship kind of was the anti of that, in a sense. Fast forward to now, things have changed. We know that wholeheartedly. Everybody's in a relationship. Matter of fact, it's encouraged for you to be in a relationship. Matter of fact, the people who are single look weird, right? Like, and it's now flipped on people's head, right? And so I could think of certain people, and I'll throw a couple names out there. But Nicki Minaj, she's in a relationship. The question is, are relationships bad for your image? And if I'm answering that exact question, I would say it depends on who you're with. Because the reverse has happened with Nicki. Although it's been sort of acceptable for everybody to be in a relationship now, it does matter who you get with. It might hold your image back, right? And I think that's what's happening with Nicki Minaj versus let's say a Beyonce. You're with somebody who's super successful, Jay-Z.
Oh, Nicki Minaj
right?
you're saying her relationship is holding her back.
Her image, I think, is holding her image back. That's my belief.
Oh.
It's my belief.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? People ain't gonna like that. I mean, you might disagree with that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, no.
That's how I feel.
I get you.
So what do you think? I mean, can you think of a couple of examples of people who image has been held back or even have been propelled based on a relationship?
Elevated. So I proposed this topic. I was thinking about it for some time now. Yeah. But recently, as you guys can all see, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are, together, and you're seeing them every single second at football games, and they're very open with it at this point, right? And I'm wondering, does it help? I know it helps Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a superstar. He's probably making the most money he's ever made before. Travis Kelce's that guy now. But is it helping Taylor Swift? So for me, I think right now it is elevating Taylor Swift a little bit. She's the talk of the town. But I think it really matters how it ends, if it ends. Like, if we find out that Travis Kelce, decided to call it quits with her, or she decides to call it quits to Travis Kelce, will people turn on her? What would that look like for her career? So I'm curious to see. But then I'm just also thinking about the hip hop side of things. Like, you brought up Nicki Minaj. Nicki also had a relationship with Meek Mill. And remember, that relationship with Meek Mill was toxic. It forced Nicki Minaj to go against Drake at the time. Remember that? Drake and Meek Mill were beefing, and she was in the middle of it. Did it help? I don't think it did anything for Nicki Minaj, but it hurt Meek. If you ask me, it hurt Meek. That relationship hurt Meek a little bit. So, I just find it, I find it interesting because, even though you're saying people are in relationships more than ever now, I do feel like you don't hear about it as much anymore. Like, it's kind of like low key. Like Ice Spice, we don't hear about Ice Spice. Ice Spice is dating somebody apparently, but we don't have absolutely no clue who that person is.
Is she?
I didn't even know that was the case. It's as laid back. I don't know. I just find it interesting. I should be rappers and musicians get into relationships more. Like, should they follow the model that Taylor Swift has done with Travis Kelce? You think will that elevate their brand? Is that a smart thing to do?
So now I got to wear the hat of like a strategic, somebody on strategy. Like, let's say I was a strategic person for a rapper. Yeah, I think it helps you to get with. I'll give a perfect example. Look at Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo. Obviously, he was a lit rapper. We get it. All these years, had some dope songs, great songs. Always kept a hit. The moment he got with Ari, it actually boosted his profile in his world, in her world. Now he's on the Shade Room. Now he's in a different echelon when it comes to his notoriety. And I think that's what relationships do. Think another example. Look at A$AP Rocky. Bro, A$AP Rocky historically been, I would call him an underground, overground rapper. Like, he's one of them people who got, he one of the people who got like his one leg in one area and the other leg in the other. But my point is, he gets with Rihanna. He's out of it.
Has it though?
bro, he's out of here. You know
Has
why he's out
it
here?
ever
Because
been?
if you go watch the E-Newses, the people who cover
That's true.
Rihanna,
That's true. That's
the
true.
pop
That's true.
world, they now know who he is. That actually helps him from a, I guess, business standpoint. It don't help his rap career.
But you know the thing
It don't help
is-
his rap career,
the
but
thing
it helps
is-
his profile.
It helps his profile. But you know the interesting thing is, like, you know, what if it goes wrong? You know what I mean? Like, what if, like, what if they start to see you as this person's boyfriend? Is it like Jay-Z, right? Young kids, a lot of young kids I talk to say, I only know Jay-Z as Beyonce's boyfriend.
Right.
That got him money and all that because they're, you know, like you said, you're on E-News and all that stuff. But do you want that to just be known as somebody's boyfriend? If you're a rapper? I think this convo
It can
we're
hurt
having,
you. It can
this
hurt you.
convo we're having, I think is difficult to talk between me and you.
Yeah.
But I do think this is going to be one that, like, I want to see what the comments, because, you know, a lot of the people that are on our IG and YouTube and stuff are musicians. I am curious to know, like, if you're in a relationship, are you flaunting that relationship? You know, because are you not afraid to flaunt it, knowing that it can go awry, and then suddenly it's like, yo, okay,
You know, more importantly,
we're
though,
not rocking with this guy anymore because he was rocking with her, and we, you know, now that he did her dirty, you know, we don't want. It's like, damn.
yo, man, listen, F music. Take this to the real world. You know how many people don't flaunt that they in a relationship?
I know.
Right? Like they in a
Yeah,
whole,
that's true.
they in a
That's true.
full-blown
That's true.
relationship,
That's-
and they
that's
got
true.
kids,
That's
but yet
true.
they go to the club
That's
and they
true.
acting single as a
That's true.
motherfucker.
That's true.
They don't want the
That's
world
true.
to know.
That's true.
It's all
That's
part
true.
of your brand. Like people sometimes look at it like a knock. That might be somebody who's just not ready.
Oh, so you don't think it's a knock? Interesting.
I think it depends. I swear, you know, because I promise you, bro. I really think like some of these rappers and artists and musicians and people in Hollywood, they really moving strategic. It's like they can be in a whole relationship, but at the same time, it might not be good for business.
It might be good for business.
Is it good for business? And I think
That's a God. That's such a good.
unfortunately,
That's such a good
the
question.
people who are involved in these relationships, if you're the one who's not the notable one, imagine having to tell your significant other, listen, hey, I don't know if I can flaunt you. It ain't good for business. How does that person feel?
Woo!
What does that do to the person?
I want to
Can
hear
that person?
comments.
Can that
We
person
gotta
handle
figure
that?
out. We gotta figure that out. Could you take that? Could you take being told I cannot flaunt you because
Woo!
it doesn't work with my?
That's
rapper?
a hell of
and
a
I know
question,
that
bro.
conversation. I know that conversation has been had. I know
course,
that
of
it's
course.
been had. I've seen it on hip hop television shows. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious. To
We
see
putting
where
that
we go.
poll up.
That
poll is going up on
I'm so
YouTube
curious
and
to see.
anywhere we put that
I'm so
joint up,
curious
man.
to see.
Listen, what about you guys? You know, drop your thoughts in the comments. You know, are relationships bad for your image or can they be good for your image? We want to know what y'all
Woo.
think. And with that, we've reached the end of the episode.
Woo.
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, hit that like button or do both. It's up to y'all, man. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Q, let's get up out of here. Hey, guys. And as always, if you're giving advice, just make sure that thing is ill.
Yes, sir.
Bow.